Hello and good evening, everyone. I wanted to wish you all a good International Credit Union Day, and we wanted to thank all our members who stopped into our branches today to help us celebrate. I'm Allison Chenier. I'm Chair of the Kawartha Board and your host for tonight's session. Thank you for joining us today for a virtual information session about Kawartha's proposed merger with Libro Credit Union. I would like to note before we get started that we are recording today's session so we can share the information session with members who are unable to attend. And before we start our formal meeting, I would like to share our land acknowledgement with you. Kawartha Credit Union acknowledges that our head office is located in Nojo G1 which is the Anishinaabe word for place at the end of the rapids. We are on Treaty 20 land in the traditional territory of the Michisagi and Chippewa Nations, known as the Williams Treaty First Nations. We respectfully acknowledge that Indigenous peoples are stewards of these lands and waters, and that they continue to maintain and carry out this responsibility to ensure the health and integrity for those who are here now and for future generations. We have a responsibility to nurture respectful relationships with Indigenous communities and learn about the rich history of Indigenous peoples. We acknowledge that we are able to live, learn, and work on this land and give thanks for the many opportunities this privilege provides us. So first, some introductions today on our speakers. I'm Allison Chenier, as I said, Chair of the Kawartha's Board of Directors, and I've served on Kawartha's board since 2019. Also joining me is Nora McCarthy, who is the President and CEO of the Kawartha Credit Union. Nora and I will be leading the call today and providing you with an overview of Kawartha's proposed merger with Libro Credit Union. Also on the line today with us are other members of Kawartha's executive leadership team who will be available to answer your questions later in the call. With us, we have Mark Oakes, our Chief Financial Officer and Chief Risk Officer, Jennifer Bacon, the Executive Vice President of Human Resources, and Brad Best, our Executive Vice President of Information Systems and Corporate Services. I'm also very pleased to have a special guest with us tonight, Carl Silvestri. Carl was a long-standing and very committed board member of the Kawartha Credit Union. He served as a director of the credit union for 37 years and was the recipient of our Kawartha Commitment Award for his outstanding support of the Kawartha Credit Union. We are very pleased to have Carl join us today and to share his thoughts on the proposed Kawartha and Libro Credit Union merger. We will have time for questions. For everyone who submitted questions in advance through the event registration form, we thank you. If you didn't submit a question in advance, or if you have more questions for our team, you are welcome to submit questions during this session. To do so, click the Q&A icon with the speech bubbles at the bottom of your screen. A pop-up window will appear, type your question, and click send. We will do our best to answer as many questions as possible on the call today. If we're unable to answer your question, a member of Kawartha's team will follow up with you over email. If you have any trouble accessing the Q&A functionality, we encourage you to visit our merger website at goforwardtogether.ca, where you can submit questions anytime via the Contact Us form. You can also visit your local Kawartha branch or phone our contact center. I'll now review the agenda for today's meeting. The board and management teams at Kawartha and Libro believe this merger is the right path forward. Now we're seeking your support for the merger. Today, we will provide you information to help you make an informed vote. The agenda will cover why we feel this merger is the right choice, Kawartha and Libro's shared vision for the future, and the merger benefits to our members, employees, and our communities. We will also cover information about proposed operations, the board and leadership teams, and voting information. And we will conclude with a Q&A session. Can we have the next slide? Thank you. So why merge? So let me start again by saying Kawartha's board and management team fully support this proposed merger between Kawartha and Libro. But why do we feel we need to merge? Part of my role, and the role of the board and management, is to plan and prepare for the future. In governance, we call this foresight. As we look around the financial services industry, being a financially strong credit union is more important than ever. We face many pressures, and the rapid change of pace is making it even more challenging. We need and want to invest in technology, not only to meet our competition, but to also meet the needs of you, our members, and how you want to interact with your credit union. We need to handle the rising costs of compliance and risk management, not only from our regulators, but from others outside the credit union system. We must attract and retain talented employees so that we can provide the services members expect. We must continue to attract new members. And we need to do all of this within tighter profit margins. We are both strong credit unions, but by coming together, will we create a stronger credit union that is better prepared for the future, one with an even more solid foundation to manage these pressures and investments. And we want to maintain the benefits and advantages you all love about Kawartha. We will remain your local community credit union and continue to provide personalized advice and service. Together with Legal, we will be stronger so we can support our members in achieving their financial goals, provide employees with meaningful workplaces to grow their careers, and invest in our communities for years to come. With our collective strengths moving forward together, the journey will be more successful. On the next slide, we'll discuss why we chose Libro to be our merger partner. When we first started talking to Libro about 9 months ago, I really didn't know that much about Libro other than what you could find out on their website. Over the course of the first few meetings, it quickly became clear what a natural fit our two credit unions were. We have very similar legacies and values. As you can see, we have a long history and deep roots serving suburban and rural communities, a combined 150 years between the two organizations. Our missions and visions are similar and centered around the financial well-being of our members. We are both proud of being living wage employers with a commitment to see our employees thrive. We value environmental sustainability and high standards of social and environmental performance. Kawartha through our Bullfrog Power program, and Libro through the Certified B Corporation. We both are very deep commitments to our communities. We provide annual grants and other funding to both charities and not-for-profit organizations within our communities. And we have similar values and cultures that have served us over the long term. As I said before, we are both strong credit unions, but the board and management strongly believe we can do even more for our communities, our members, and our employees as we go forward together. So what will we look like? By joining together, we'll have over 180,000 members, approximately 1,100 employees, 11 billion in assets under management, and 57 branches to serve you along the 401 corridor from Windsor to Cornwall, along the Highway 7 corridor through Kawartha and Muskoka, and as far north as Berks Falls and South River. As you can see on this map, we have no branch overlap, and no branches will be closed as a direct result of this merger. So what does this mean to you, our members? You will continue to deal with the same friendly, helpful employees that serve you in our branches today. I'm now going to pass it over to Nora McCarthy to discuss the vision of the merged credit union.
Thank you, Allison. Kawartha and Libro share a vision to become Ontario's partner of choice for financial well-being for our members, our employees, and our communities. This is in line with both of our purposes today. So what does this really mean? It means achieving more for our members. So a key focus of ours is helping our members achieve their financial goals, to offer products, services, and advice that members need and want today and for the future. To also continue to provide personalized service. That's very important to our members, very important to the credit unions, and make sure we have local connections with our members and our communities. It also means continuing to create a great and meaningful workforce for our employees. So our employees seek more than a job. They look for purpose, connection, a meaningful career, a great culture. The new credit union will offer this now and into the future, and will continue to be a living wage employer. It also means to continue to invest in our local communities and increase that investment. It also means we'll be stronger with greater impact. We'll create a credit union that has a strong foundation to be competitive, as Allison mentioned. while still maintaining those benefits and advantages of a community-focused credit union. The reasons that you join Kawartha is that we're local and we're very, very personally focused. We'll continue to be your partner of choice to help you reach your goals from a financial perspective. But we really can't do this. We can do more together than we can on our own. So that's why it's important to look at how we merge both Libro and Kawartha to do more together. So let's move to the next slide. I'll talk about some of the benefits. So again, coming together creates many benefits. And again, we can achieve more together, as I mentioned earlier. So if I look at enhancing the member experience, so members will have more opportunities to service you through 57 locations across Ontario, but you'll still have the same friendly employees that service you today in our branches, so no branches would be closed. Access to more resources and increased expertise, providing personalized financial service to our members. So again, with that broader reach, we have obviously additional resources to support our members. An improved digital banking experience over time. Libra has their own digital banking system, which is very, very good. So that would be an improved digital banking experience for Kawartha members. And also looking at broadening the range of products and services that we offer to our members. So by bringing our resources together, we can enhance what we do for our personal members and our business members, really backed by the strength of a growing credit union with really more to invest in more resources. So offering more personalized solutions, that would be one example, access to a broader range of services for personal banking, business banking, wealth, and certainly insurance. I would say business members today will enjoy access to enhanced lending expertise and access to higher loan limits. So for example, today at Kawartha, we have many members that want to do more business with us on the business side, but we have a lending limit. So that would actually be enhanced with a merger with Libro, which helps us because of strong capital ratios. Another area where we'll see benefits will be access to specialists in agriculture to support many of the local farming communities we have across Ontario. Again, today I would say we've got lots of opportunity in our Kawartha markets to support our farmers, but don't really have the expertise today to do that. So coming together with Libro is a big benefit in terms of supporting our local farmers. And then creating more opportunities for our employees. So employees will be part of a culture that supports a fulfilling work and career opportunity environment. Again, we believe that our key focus here is to support our members, but also our employees through this merger. Also more flexibility to work remotely with mobility across a larger organization. So we've had employees that talked about, working in each other's geographical area, which would be wonderful. Provides more opportunity for career growth and advancement, and certainly increased role opportunities across a bigger organization. We certainly see more enhanced training, mentorship opportunities, and professional development, again, as part of a stronger organization. And we'll continue to invest in tools, technology, and systems to support effective work and exceptional service. And again, continue to be a living wage employer. So that's kind of a view of what we'll see for our employees. In terms of our communities, I would say today both Libro and Kawartha are very focused on supporting their communities. We do see that our values-based kind of approach where communities are so important to us and we kind of measure that as a key part of our success. But together we'll have more to invest in our communities that we serve, and we'll offer continued support for local partnerships and sponsorships, which we obviously invest in today. There'll also be more opportunities for employees to engage in meaningful local initiatives. Again, both Libra and Kawartha are very focused on community involvement today, and we hope to do more of that. So we believe our growth will actually strengthen our local roots in supporting our communities. Let's move to the next slide, and we'll talk really about how our merged credit union will actually operate. So again, we'd like to share some details of how it operates. So the effective date of the merger. So if a positive vote is received at both credit unions, the merged credit union is actually expected to come together as a merged credit union on January 1st, 2026. That's kind of our legal close, we would call it. We expect, though, business as usual for quite a period of time. As we progress through integration planning, members will receive communication well in advance of any changes, but we see status quo for quite a while as we look at system integration and things like that. In terms of the head office, it'll actually be the current head office of Libro, located in London, Ontario. So again, from a regulatory perspective, we're required to actually choose a head office. So we've actually chosen Libro, but we'll actually continue to have an administrative office in London and an administrative office in Peterborough at our Hunter location. So we'll still have 2 administrative offices to support our members and our processes. In terms of the name, recognizing the strength of the existing brand, so the Kawartha brand as well as the Libro brand, will continue to operate under those 2 brands for the foreseeable future. So you continue to see the Kawartha name in our branches, the brand that you've grown to love over many years. The actual legal entity, so what you see behind the scenes, will actually be Libro Credit Union Limited. So what does this mean really for Kawartha? So you'll still see the Kawartha brand after January 1st, but you'll see some changes on legal documents, agreements, and paperwork to include the legal names. You'll see those changes happen. In terms of branch locations, again, we'll continue to serve the communities that we serve today. Again, the existing Libro and Kawartha branches will continue to operate. So Kawartha members will continue to be supported with the same dedicated employees in our branches today. In terms of products and services, our goal is to offer the same as well as complementary products and services at competitive pricing that members currently enjoy at their respective credit unions. Over time, these products will be enhanced to meet the evolving needs of our members. And if we have any changes at all to our products or services as part of integration or operational integration, members will be provided advance notice of any of those changes. So let's go to the next slide and we'll talk about some of our membership shares. So the first share I'd like to talk about are membership shares. So again, existing members of Kawartha and owners of Libro will automatically become members of the merged credit union. So there's no action required by our members. The merged credit union requires 5 membership shares at a price of $1 per share. So therefore, each membership share held by a Libro owner will convert into 1 membership share at the merged credit union. And each membership share held by a Kawartha member will convert into 5 membership shares at the merged credit union. So let's move to the next slide and we'll talk about our investment shares. So again, investment shares, a very important part of our capital and very important members of Kawartha. So existing Kawartha and Libro investment shareholders will automatically become investment shareholders of the merged credit union. So there's no action required by members. Each series of Class A shares issued by Kawartha and each class issued by Libro will be converted into an equal number of shares of Class I, they call them at Libro. So actually investment shares, that's what the I stands for. These shares will have substantially the same rights and restrictions that we have in place today. Today, both credit unions pay very competitive dividends and will continue to pay competitive dividends going forward. Class A shareholders are very important to us, and your investment will even be stronger with Kawartha and Libro coming together as a stronger credit union. Let's go to the next slide. We'll talk about our Class B or our affinity shares or patronage shares. So again, existing Libro and Kawartha patronage shares will automatically become patronage shares of the merged credit union. Again, no action is required by members or owners. Each Class B share issued by Kawartha and each Class P, which is patronage, issued by Libro, will be converted to an equal number of Class P shares of the merged credit union. We'll have substantially the same rights and restrictions that we have in place today on the shares currently held. So that's a summary of our 3 different share classes, so members, investment shares, as well as our patronage shares. So now I'm going to pass it back to Allison to talk about what the new board will look like for the merged credit union.
Thanks very much, Nora. Key to supporting our shared vision for the future is our board and executive leadership team. On this slide, we are presenting to you the proposed board for the merged credit union. These members were selected from within both Libro and Kawartha's existing board members, with 8 coming from Libro and 5 from Kawartha. We worked through a democratic process led by an experienced third-party consultant, and that consultant helped us determine the skills, competencies, and experiences we would need to guide an $11 billion credit union. I am pleased to be joined by Judy Cameron, Jeff Carter, Lawrence Davis, and Mary McGee from the Kawartha board. Garrett Vanderwist, who is the current chair of Libro and will be the chair of the Merged Credit Union, and I will be acting as the vice chair. You can see short bios of these directors by visiting our goforwardtogether.ca website and looking at the supplemental information package. I know that Judy, Jeff, Lawrence, Mary, and myself are looking forward to working with the 8 Libro directors towards the exciting future that Nora outlined earlier. So let's move to the next slide and discuss the leadership team. Sean Good, who is currently CEO of the Libro Credit Union, will be the CEO of the Merged Credit Union. With the joint merger committee, I've been working with Sean over the past 9 months, and I've enjoyed getting to know him. He is passionate about the credit union system and has a strong vision for the future of credit unions. He has over 25 years of credit union and financial services experience. He joined Libro as president and CEO in 2023, and he was previously president and CEO of Sask Central Credit Union in Saskatchewan, as well as the president and CEO of Prospera Credit Union in BC. Nora McCarthy, our current president and CEO of Kawartha, will continue to serve as president of the Kawartha brand. Nora will continue to lead Kawartha with the same passion and dedication she has shown over the past 4 years. She'll be a strong advocate to ensure Kawartha's culture and values are respected and appropriately integrated into the new, larger organization. Together, Sean and Nora will support the merged credit union and ensure the merger integration process goes as planned. It is now my pleasure to invite Carl to provide his perspective on the merger. It was my distinct honor to serve on the board with Carl, and I've always valued his perspective and insight. Carl has been a key supporter of the Kawartha over the many years as a strong and committed board member, and we appreciate having Carl with us today to share his views with our membership. Carl, over to you.
Thanks, Allison, very much. Before I start, I'd like to wish everybody happy International Credit Union Day. It's kind of ironic that it falls on the day of this call, talking about the merger with Kawartha and Libro. I'm very pleased to be speaking to the Kawartha members today and thrilled to be here to talk about this exciting milestone for Kawartha Credit Union, the merger of Kawartha Credit Union and Libro Credit Union. I served on the Kawartha board for over 37 years, and I have seen Kawartha grow and change over those years. Kawartha's growth was supported by many mergers over the years. Mergers that helped Kawartha expand, grow, and solidify their presence in the markets we serve today and become a financial partner for our members and an amazing place to work for our employees. I was on the board during the Unity merger in 2013 and was thrilled to see how Unity got stronger and thrived under the leadership of Kawartha. I see the Kawartha and Libro merger as another strong step in the right direction, a way to become an even stronger credit union, a way to ensure we can invest in the business to support our members, a way to ensure strong jobs and careers for our employees, and a way to further strengthen our investments in our communities. Everyone on this call understands the amazing services credit unions provide to our members. This merger will make us stronger to grow our business and keep us strong to serve you and your families for the future. Status quo is not enough. We need to embrace change and forge ahead with an even stronger credit union with the merger of Kawartha and Libro. I am a very strong supporter of Kawartha and want Kawartha to continue to thrive. Libro is a great fit for Kawartha. Libro is a strong, financially secure partner and is very similar to Kawartha in many ways. Libro is very focused on serving their members' needs, providing very strong support to their employees. They are committed to supporting their local communities, and they share very similar values and culture as Kawartha. Together, we'll be even better and stronger. I would ask that you vote in favor of the merger to solidify our future. Thank you now, and I will pass it back to Allison.
Thank you, Carl, for sharing your perspective. Can we have the next slide, please? As members of Kawartha, you get to vote on this proposed merger and determine whether we will go forward. Your vote counts. Voting is open October 20th through to October 30th, 2025. You can vote online at home or at any of our branch locations. Voting will take place through a secure and trusted third-party platform called Simply Voting. Tomorrow, October 17th, voting credentials will be shared with all eligible voters whose email addresses we have on file. If you do not receive this email, you can reach out to your local Kawartha branch or phone our contact center to receive your logon credentials. As always, for more information, you can go visit goforwardtogether.ca. Our board and management team are fully supportive of this merger, and we asking you to vote yes. Next slide, please. We now have time for some questions. We had a number of questions come in prior to today, and we've had a few come in as well. So I'm going to pass it to Nora to go through the questions that were submitted in advance.
Thank you, Allison. So we've got quite a few questions Allison mentioned, so I'll start with the first one. And the first one was, how will this affect the dividend paid annually on the Class A shares? So current holders of investment shares in both Kawartha Credit Union and Libro will continue to hold investment shares in the new merged entity, as I mentioned earlier. The terms and conditions of these shares will remain very similar, so no significant changes. And again, no really action required by the members, the shareholders. Key features such as redemption options and annual dividend payouts will be preserved. Both Libro and Kawartha have paid very competitive dividends in the past, and we plan to continue to pay very competitive dividends in the future. There's also a question about the value of your shares. So the value of your shares will not be impacted by the merger, and your investment in the credit union really becomes stronger because we are part of a financially stronger credit union. So I think it's all very positive for our Class A investment shares. Again, you won't see any big changes. I actually think it's actually a solid investment and actually enhanced by the strength of the credit unions coming together. The next question was actually about affinity shares, so our Class B shares. So how will they be affected? And again, Kawartha's existing Class B affinity shares will be converted into an equal number of Class P shares, so the patronage shares of the merged credit union. So there's no action required on members' part. Again, the shares will have substantially the same rights and restrictions as we have in place today on the shares held. So really not any big change for Class B shares. The next question was, will there be an increase in cost because of the merger? It's a very good question. We understand members want to ensure our fees remain as competitive as possible. We want to assure you that as part of our business case, there was no assumption that fees would rise because of the merger. The business case was really about how do we become stronger and grow? That was the key focus of our business case. I mean, over time, fees will be reviewed as part of our normal kind of alignment of services, but any changes will be communicated in advance to our members. The next question was, will our account numbers be changed? So that was a question really around integration. So again, there'll be no immediate change to your account numbers or any of your accounts, services, or products through Kawartha. Your current account numbers and products will continue without disruption while we really work through the integration plans for our systems, products, and services. The products available to members will continue to be our Kawartha products. So Libro products will only be available once we kind of bring our systems together and integrate our products and services. So your existing banking arrangements, including direct deposit, automatic payments, and things like that, checks, will continue as usual. If any changes or updates change at a later time because of integration, again, we'll notify members well in advance of that. We had another question, how does this affect tax-free savings accounts or TFSAs? Again, as we mentioned earlier, there's no really immediate change to any of your Kawartha accounts or products, which includes tax-free savings accounts. Another question came forward, when would the merger occur? So again, if successful, the merger would be effective from January 1st, 2026. The integration of our systems and processes will be done over a longer period of time with a very thoughtful approach to integration. And we would see probably most system integration to be done in the second half of 2027. So really members won't see a lot of change until systems integrate at that time. Another question around will the proportion of men to women staff become more balanced? So today, Kawartha's current employee demographic ratio is 77% female and 23% male. In merging with Libro, our combined ratio of male to female employees would be 72% female and 28% male. So slightly higher percentage of male employees, but still a majority would be female employees. The next question was really about, I joined Kawartha because I want to keep my banking local and support my community. Will it feel like banking with one of the big banks after the merger? That's a great question and one we've had from a few members. So the merger of Kawartha Credit Union and Libro Credit Union will make us a little bigger and better able to compete with the banks in our communities. But even the largest credit unions in Ontario are incredibly small in comparison to the big banks. So for example, Libro and Kawartha together will be $11 billion in assets under management. World Bank, for example, would be 2 trillion in assets under management, servicing over 19 million clients worldwide with over 100,000 staff. So the difference between a credit union size and a bank size is huge. So again, Kawartha and Libro combined will be 11 billion assets under management. We'll have about 180,000 members in Ontario and employ about 1,100 staff. So merging makes us a little bigger, makes us able to compete better, but we're still, I would say, a locally owned smaller company to service our members the way we do today. So again, by combining our strengths, I think we're better equipped to invest in technology, enhance our product offerings, increase opportunities from a career perspective for our employees, and really deliver long-term value for our members. But this still continues to be a great choice as a cooperative banking choice for members across Ontario. One of our branch employees talked about, we're going to take 2 great credit unions and bring them together to make an even better credit union. So if you think of that, we're still a focused credit union and small to support our members in the way we do today, which is very personal, high-touch service. And again, we also mentioned that there's no plan for branch closures as part of this merger. You'll be able to visit your branch as you do today to do your day-to-day banking and support it with the same Kawartha staff you know today. So again, through the merger, we'll actually scale our ability to invest in our communities, though, and make an even greater impact in the communities that we want to thrive. The next question was, could you please clarify whether there are any expected staff reductions, particularly at the 2 head offices? So certainly a great question. We certainly appreciate your concern about our employees' well-being and job security. I would say that our main focus of this merger is about growing the credit union and not focused on cost reductions. We'll naturally see some savings due to reducing technology duplication, things like that. But the core focus of our business case is really about growth. We also want to make sure that there are many opportunities for employees to grow within the merged credit union. We also want to assure that branch closures are not planned. So again, that's a big, obviously positive part of this merger. That's a big reason in choosing the partner that we chose. Well, again, in any merger, there's some change that will happen, but we are certainly dedicated and committed to supporting any employees through the transition and minimizing any job loss as a result of this merger. And whenever possible, we will actually integrate our employees into the merged credit union into roles that make sense for their experience. And I would say our Kawartha employees have actually a great range of experiences. So we actually see them as a very valuable part of this overall merger because they have such skilled in many areas in the front office, the back office. So we think this is actually great opportunities for our Kawartha employees. So I might just pass it back to Allison to see if any other questions have come up. But those are the questions we received from our members before the call.
Great, thanks, Nora. We have had a couple of questions come in live. The first question is, Will Kawartha Credit Union still support our community through donations and partnerships such as the Port Hope Fall Fair in the same capacity moving forward?
Yes, I think this even strengthens our community support. So if I look at what we do today, we would support our communities in total for about $200,000 in terms of our communities. We also have lots of local support that we do through our branches. Libro probably does about $1.2 million a year in terms of community support. So we see coming together that actually will actually amplify that support in our communities. So our communities are very important to us. They're where our members work and live, and so that continued community support is certainly a key part of who we are going forward, and we would never consider reducing that support. So, yeah, very, very happy with where that will, how that will actually improve as part of this merger.
Yes, I would agree with you, Nora. I know the Dragon Boat Festival here in Peterborough is very important to us. And certainly Libro, in any conversations we've had with both Sean and Garrett, they are very committed to those same types of activities within their region as well. So we do have another live question. I'm assuming we will receive new cards after the merger.
Um, I think in the short term, I think there'll be no changes until we see a change to like actually merging banking systems and online banking. So again, that's way further down the road and probably in the second half of 2027. So I think at this point we haven't looked at how we would merge and what changes will take place there. So I can't say for sure you'll actually get a new card, but we'll work through that, through very thoughtfully over the next many months to reduce as much impact to members as possible.
Absolutely, I agree with you there. So, uh, another live question we have is where can we access the accounting sheets, merger documents to read further? Also, how much is Libro worth on paper, both assets and real estate compared to Kawartha? And how many members does Libro have versus Kawartha?
I might pass that to Mark, but certainly there's information in the member guide, which you can access on goforwardtogether.ca. So you'll see lots of information about that. But I'll pass it to Mark, and Mark can talk. Mark was actively involved in the business case and the financials, but he can speak to the size of Libro Kawartha and what we look like together.
Thank you. So Libro is, I think, as Nora mentioned earlier, about $8 billion in assets under management, and Kawartha is about $3 billion. So that will give us better size and scale to invest in some things that we need to do, as well as meet the increasing regulatory and compliance costs that we have to ensure members' privacy, mitigate member fraud, be in line with money laundering rules and requirements. So that's the size. The second part, was there a second part to the question, Nora?
There's talking about financial strength, I think, Mark.
Yeah, so Libro made in last year after tax almost $20 million. Kawartha, we had a bit of a down year with some margin compression, but together we will definitely be much stronger and be able to weather storms of financial challenges like we have had recently at Kawartha in 23 and 24. But we are still a financially strong credit union. Our profitability in 2025 is rebounding to where we expect it to be. This is much more about the future and ensuring we can be strong 5 years from now.
Thank you, Mark. There's also another question that we've had from other members just as part of our branch visits. I thought maybe I would talk to, and it's really what are the risks related to the merger with Libro, and was any due diligence completed to ensure it's the right decision for Kawartha? And I might just walk you through, some of the process that we go through to actually make a decision about a merger. It's not something we take lightly. So if I look at the first key piece that we would do is we would do due diligence on each other. So we'd obviously talk to our boards and agree that we think we're the right partners for each other. Those boards obviously engage, but the piece that we do first would be actually due diligence. And we actually brought in third-party experts to ensure there was no impediments to the merger. And they would have done the review of Libro with Kawartha's board and vice versa. So we would look at things around credit quality, financials, technology, information security. We look at culture and values and risks. So no issues were identified on either side. We're both very strong, I would say, lower risk credit unions, very well run, very well respected. So both credit unions were very satisfied with the due diligence that was done. The second key piece that we do is we actually do a business case. So we brought a business case forward to our respective boards in June. And again, very good business case, shows strong opportunity for growth with the combined credit union. So that was approved by our boards. The next key piece milestone that we go through would be the Competition Bureau. And the Competition Bureau assesses that if we come together, will we actually do any reduction in the competition environment? And their main focus is actually making sure we have access to services for consumers. Again, we received approval from the Competition Bureau very quickly because we don't have a duplication in footprint. They would have seen this as a very good merger to actually make us stronger, really, to increase competition with the bank. So that was well supported. And the next step is actually approval by our regulator. We would have had a large document go to them, about probably 300 pages, that would have gone through our business case, our due diligence, assessment of the risk, our approach to integration, forecasted, again, revenues and expenses going forward. Again, we just approval from our regulator at the end of September. So again, so the next big really milestone is the vote, and that's where members get to obviously give their views on the merger. But we certainly feel like the due diligence that we've done has been very, very strong and very much supports the merger of Kawartha and Libro. Maybe the next question that came up again, this is just what I might just cover since we have a little bit of time. And the question was, I love the staff of my local Kawartha branch. Are their jobs safe? And will my local branch close as a result of the merger? And again, we'd like to obviously confirm that for us, the branches will continue as they operate today. You'll enjoy the same staff that you do today. Again, we don't have any overlap in footprint. If you think of our current footprint, really Libro is on the west side of the GTA, and we're on the east side of GTA with going a little further north. So no overlap at all in our geographies, and we'll have 57 branches combined, and our goal is to maintain that footprint going forward. So Alison, those are the questions that I had come up from a few members in our discussion in the branches. I don't know if others have come up online.
We do have one more that's come up with regarding technology. So you mentioned benefits in investing in tech, and what kind of tech are you desiring to invest in, and how would this type of technology benefit members?
Sure. I would say there's a few things that I would talk about. So if I look at technology today, so one piece that we need to change at Kawartha, so we need to change our online banking system. So our provider that would have done that for all the credit unions actually in BC and in Ontario is no longer offering those services. So we need to find a new digital banking solution. Libra has one that they have developed themselves, so it's very good, highly customized. So we see that as a great benefit in terms of coming together and leveraging that solution. We also see things like I would say open banking. It's a big change, obviously, for Canadians. I would say that Libra has been more progressive in looking at how we actually, adopt open banking. So that's something that we would actually see as part of a combined organization. I would also say things like payments. There's lots of changes in the payment space in terms of the rails, in terms of how payments move, across the world, really. So again, being part of that and being progressive in that area, because any kind of payments piece is very important to our members. And I would say just generally keeping up with technology. I think it takes a lot to invest in technology. We've done a lot of work at Kawartha over the last 5 years or so, but it's expensive to do that. So keeping up with technology and making sure we're delivering to what members need today and what members need for the future, that will be much easier when we bring our resources together to do that. So I see that as a big benefit to the merger. And also, we just think about how we operate today. We have, two GL systems for our financials. We have two banking systems, two online banking systems. We have two data systems, and I could go on and on. There's lots of duplication that we have across the two credit unions. So bringing them together, you have good efficiencies in terms of technology cost, and it gives us a leg up in terms of our cost side on the technology side, but also still getting actually better technology.
Great, thanks, Nora. And that is, I believe, all of the live questions. And I know you've covered all of the questions that we'd received in advance. So if we can go to the next slide. We would like to thank you for taking your time today to learn more about the proposed merger with Libra Credit Union. On behalf of board and leadership, we do fully support this merger and we encourage you to vote yes. Please exercise your right to vote from October 20th to October 30th. We will be announcing the results at our special general meeting of members on November 5th, with more details to come on how to join that meeting. Thank you for your attention and have a great night. Go Jays, go.
Thanks for joining. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye-bye.